Welcome back to the show, everybody. I am excited to do this episode because I'm going to give you an update on how things have been going. And, you know, I've been doing a lot of interviews lately, which I really appreciate you guys watching. Really appreciate y'all commenting, interacting with me, sending me DMs on social media. I appreciate all the love very much. So thank you. Thank you so much. Now, I did want to at least share with you how things have been going in my journey, though, right? That's really how I started the show, and it's evolving over time, which I love. But I want to let you guys know that March was a great month. Pretty excited about the month, actually, and I want to talk about why it was a good month. And it's not because I'm a good trader, right? Let me give you the stats first, and then we'll talk about what I learned from this month. So my goal this whole month was to really get to that profit, or actually my goal in trading is to have a profit factor of 3, right? Every time I risk 1, I want to make 3, right? And so over time, it's been increasing. It went from like 1 to 1.5 to 1.9 to 2.2, I think to 2.6. And then now we are at 3, which is awesome. So I crossed 3. I had a win percentage of 61%, 61.5 to be exact, and a lose percentage or loss percentage of 38.5. My max consecutive wins was 11, and my max consecutive losses was 5. So I want to talk about this because I think it's important, because when I was trading, none of these numbers ever really hit me. Like, I didn't know I was winning 11 in a row, and I didn't know I was losing 5 in a row. So what has helped me a lot, especially from this month, and this is just me kind of like airing out, you know, my thoughts and processing through the month, it has really been my risk. You know, I've taken some lessons from a lot of the interviews that I've done, to where if I take some losses, I'll start to dial back on my risk. So, in other words, if I'm risking 1R and then I take a couple of losses, I might risk a half R in the next trade, maybe even a quarter R. And that has drastically helped me in terms of emotionally and keeping me in the game. Because who knows, sometimes I'll take a trade, take a loss right off the gate. So then maybe I'll downsize a little bit. And then during that downsize, I'll take another trade, maybe take another loss. Then I'll downsize again. And then on that third trade, maybe I'm at a quarter size, I get a win. And I get some confidence. And that win is a 3R win, right, on quarter size. So now I'm back to be able to take on my next trade, maybe full size, maybe half size. But it kept me in the game, and it helped me with my emotions, because I knew I wasn't hitting my max loss. Now, I know you guys hear this a lot, and there's different versions of max loss, but what I have determined to use is I don't want to lose more than what I really want to make in a day. And if I do, then I have an alert that pops on my broker. It says, you hit your max loss. It's in red letters, and it says the amount you hit, and it doesn't look good. And I know that because I finally did hit that max loss this month in March, and one of my best months ever. And it's interesting because I was very proud of myself when I hit it, because when I hit it, I was done. I walked away and I was done for the day. And this is a shout out to a lot of traders out there, but the one who really stamped it in my head are two, actually, Brian Lee Trades, as well as S&P Capital, Mike Bellafiore. Now, I never talked to Mike in terms of on the show, but over DMs and Twitter, and I understand they really preach max loss. And Brian, he actually told me a while back dude, you got to have a max loss, and you got to, make sure you don't lose more than that. And so it's helped me, because on that day where I hit my max loss, it was frustrating. It was. And to be honest with you guys, I was trading like a degenerate that day. I was breaking all types of rules, and it protected me, because if I would have kept up, then who knows? I could have had a really bad day that could have compiled and get worse over time, which has happened a lot in the past. But it did not happen. And I think that's because of my max loss rule. Actually, I know that's why. Now, another thing is this whole max consecutive wins and max consecutive losses. When I said that, if you were in any way like intrigued by that, whether it was the losses or the wins, I want you to know from the deep, the bottom of my heart that I don't track that. And I'm actually shocked that I had 11 in a row when I read this, because the way I've been trading, as you guys know, in the past 2-3 months, I didn't upload until the end of the month. And I would even look at P&L to the end of the month. I started out with the week, then the month. But I'm going to be honest with you guys, I have been looking at it pretty much every day, maybe every other day, maybe once a week. But I have looked at it through this whole month of March. And I don't know how to explain this. I wasn't looking at it to get upset or to get like in the way I used to look at it. I've been feeling very happy with my trading, and I know I'm trading my process. I know I'm sticking to my rules. And so I want to see how those results panned out. And when I see that it's a profit, I'm happy. When I see that it's a break even, I'm happy. When I see it's a loss, I'm happy, because I stuck to my rules. And when I stick to my rules and I have losses, they're small. Now, that day where I didn't stick to my rules and I hit my max loss, I stuck to that rule. And so that lesson was a good lesson. And it hurt to see that. So that day I actually just thought about it, understood why I took that max loss, took responsibility for it. It's because I was playing with the SPY. And I said, you know what? I'm done with that. So I stopped trading it. And I continued to push forward. But I haven't been focusing on every trade like I used to. I'm not thinking, okay, that last one was a winner. This one's a winner. This one, that's a loser. I'm not thinking that way. Now, granted, there are times where I know I'm up a lot, right? And so I may take a trade. But what's unique is when I take a trade now that's maybe late day, because I know based on my statistics, my edge is not as strong, I drastically cut my size. I used to trade 1R for every trade, and I'm a different trader now. There's some trades where I do 1R, there's some trades where I do half R, and there's some trades where I do quarter R. And there's some that I do smaller than that, because I understand this whole month I've been protecting my mindset, really. I try to avoid Twitter. Done a good job at that. I avoid chat rooms. And I try to just stay focused on me, because this game is not easy. And it wasn't easy in March. I'm like, but at the same time it was. And I don't want you to hear the wrong message. It wasn't easy for me, like, oh, this is easy to do. But it was hard to be disciplined. But once I was disciplined, it was easy to trade. So that really helped me a ton. I'm hoping this helps you. And I kind of want to go over just the month. I had 4 red days through the month. And 2 were on Monday and 2 were on Wednesday. Now, I don't care about that, but it's interesting that, Monday starting out red, and then I had all green. Starting out good and then red. But I don't focus on that. And it doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is, at the end of the day, what I do for sure is I look at my executions. If you see my interviews I've done with Smash the Bid, he actually does this too. I didn't get this from him, but he reinforced it for me. And when he brought it up, that's what he focuses on, it was interesting, because I've been doing that too, where I look at my executions, and if it looks sloppy, I'm not happy with myself, even if it's a profitable day. I had a day where, I've had many days actually in March, where if I would have stuck to my plan. And let me be honest with you guys, there were some times where I kind of stepped away from my plan a little bit. And those are the days where I had smaller gains or a loss. And they would have been even better, right? And that's something I'm going to remember moving into April. And today is April 1st. And some of my friends, other traders, Brian Lee Trades and the Bear, the short trades, played a joke on me saying they blowing up their account. I hate you guys. But I'm looking forward to April. I really am. And I'm looking forward to continue this journey. And I'm hoping this helps you guys out in some way. But I want you to know that finding profitability, it feels good. I've been consistent for a while now. But now I'm seeing some real growth here. And I'm proud of that. And I'm excited. I celebrated with my wife. I told her about it. I celebrated with Carl, which he's been on the past episode. And it feels surreal, but at the same time, I'm like, it feels good. And I want you to feel this. And I want you to know that it's not easy, though. I'm not trying to sugarcoat it. I had some rough days. And I also had some days where I still broke rules. But one thing I noticed is when I broke a rule, more times than not, I acknowledged it. And then the next trade, I didn't break a rule. And maybe I sized down. That's really helped me a lot. Managing my risk, sizing down when I need to, and sizing up when I need to. Protecting my mental capital. So I hope this helps you guys. Hope you're enjoying the show. Please subscribe, comment if you're watching on YouTube. Give the show a rating and review on iTunes because, man, that helps me a ton. I got a lot of listeners out there, and I really appreciate all of you. So, if some of you guys could take the time to write a rating and review, it would mean a lot to me. So thanks so much. You guys continue to work hard, continue to trade, stay disciplined. Send me a DM. I'm happy to help anybody. And be the story of your own journey that your family and friends can share. Thanks again, guys. Take care.